What is the good word, everybody? This is your man's the one, and this is the state of basketball. I think my partner will be along here shortly. Big Storm, it's Sunday. Things happen, So looks like it's gonna be me today. I think he will join in a little bit later on. But hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Way to go. This is the one, the state of basketball. Looks like I'm in a new location, but I am not. I am actually downstairs. I didn't really feel like being in the office studio today doing the show, so I wanted to sit down here in the ambience of the kitchen living room area. So you see where I'll be at, where I'll be watching games and all of that weird stuff. I think what we got here, Kansas City and Green Bay is the game that we have on at this particular moment. I think in another room, we got the red zone, and the other room, I think we're getting ready for the Pacers. So it's always something going on around here. So hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. What up, Matt? What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you hanging out with me today. Let's see. Yeah, hope everybody's having a good weekend. Hope all your sports teams are doing well. I am obviously it's Sunday. I am rocking my Steelers gear. I'm head to toe, kind of weird, dressed like an old dad today because the boy had football game this morning at Long John's because it's cold in Indiana on a November morning. So had to do all that, and then had some things in and out of the house to do for chores with a nice 60-degree day, but you still need Long John's in Indiana. So that's why I'm dressed like a ultimate 70s sports dad. But the Steelers play tomorrow. But today is the state of basketball. And make sure you check out some of our great partners. Carma Coin, make sure you check those guys out who give out elite supercars. Check them out. Our good friend Michael Hanowski and Reggie Hammond. They'll get you all knows what's going on good with the Bitcoins phenomenon that's happening right now. If you're looking to increase your body performance, make sure you check out our good friends over at Elite Performance. I know they got new things going on now in the new facility. The wife and I were talking about yoga the other day, and I know they do yoga on Mondays. It's hard, man, when y'all put that stuff on a guy who loves sports on Monday nights. Yeah, I love it. But anyway, something that the wife and I might think about joining at the turn of the year, since we are trying to make our 40s look gravy. So, and then who else are we looking out for? We are looking out for Rogue Energy Drink. Make sure if you hit that promo code BWSPORTS1, and you'll get a little discount. I think this one's 20 something. I don't know. And BeeLit Organics and the Fighter's Friend. Check out all those good friends of ours. You got to stay in your shirt. How about them Cowboys? That's all I got to say. Love you, bro. I hope your birthday went well. What are you now? 28, 29, something like that? I keep forgetting, I think you were born in this century, let's see. Yeah, let's see. All right. So we are here talking about some basketball. I'm sure that's Mr. Racker is in it. We'll go with that. So where we at? 32, somewhere up there. Okay. Let's see. Back to here. Okay. What we all came here today to talk about was basketball. NBA has been going, I think we're on week 3 of the power rankings, and we've had changes throughout the rankings. I don't think we've had the same rankings since the first week of when they started doing it. Everybody's been a different number one. I think when I last checked before going into this weekend, 33. Nice. Larry Bird, great number. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, great number. And also Mackenzie Renee Thomas, number 33, Carmel Jr., excellent player. Check her out. Might know a little bit about it, might not. Just saying, great number. But anyway, shameless plug for Carmel basketball. I apologize. But So we're sitting here. What are we talking about? I'll look here. I forgot that quick. I don't know. The power rankings. That was it. I think there's a new number one. The Jazz. I think the Jazz are sitting at the top right now. I'm still trying to figure out why the Lakers are still in that top 10. I'm not really sure, but eventually they'll figure it out. I don't know. Might talk about them a little bit. We might not. But I know the age is definitely making this ugly head render right now with them. With, you got LeBron already out with some, and I agree with somebody said that, when you get old, you're getting old when you just wake up and you got new muscle pulls. Like you get out of the board, like your knee didn't hurt when you went to sleep, but then when you get up, your knee hurt. Or you got this pain in the side. So yeah, you're just going to start having random injuries. So I think this team is built for the playoffs, not so much the regular season, but they got to get to the playoffs. But so you got NBA going on. I guess we can dive into a little NCAA talk right now, since we have been seeing some kind of preseason type games, where, schools play like Division twos or some of these little all-star teams type things that they put together from around the neighborhoods, or, ex-athlete teams that they put together, something like that, happening in the last week. The season kicks off Tuesday. I guess I should have looked and see what games is going on. I think there are some good games. I think you got the Champions Classic that's popping off. I think you got Duke, Michigan State. Not saying they're playing each other, but I think they're playing there. I think it's Texas and Michigan State, Duke and somebody. I can't quite sure, but I think it's one of those things popping off. Speaking of Duke, is Coach K's last year. He's retiring this year, after being on the sidelines of Duke for pretty much my whole basketball life. When I started paying attention to college basketball, in my let's say early double digits, so around 11, 12, when you start paying attention to college stuff, he's always been on the sideline. So, and then here with me being, 47, and this guy's just now stepping away and having such a successful program, it's going to be odd next year to see somebody else coaching the University of Duke. Kind of way you almost felt that way once Dean Smith left from North Carolina. When those particular people when I had all those coaches come over in, it just never had the right feel, even though they did win national championship, until Roy Williams came to Notre Dame. Ridiculous. North Carolina. You had that same kind of feel that you're getting now when Roy stepped away at the end of the season, and you have Hubert Davis jumping in, taking the reins of North Carolina. I think he started off well until he had to, tell everybody how proud he was, that his wife was white. I didn't really know what that was about. That was right in the middle of all the very tense racial divides that we were having through an intense global pandemic. So all those things combined, people were not thinking correctly. But I think Hubert's a good coach. He's been sitting on that sideline, waiting his turn to be there. Where everybody knew he was the heir apparent coming after Roy Williams. So we'll like to see what this new look North Carolina is going to be. You obviously North Carolina has staples that pass through coaches throughout that you always know that you're going to get, like that trail lob or that trail three that they run. So look to see that. HGC is going to be pretty tough this year. I'm looking, where my allegiance lies. I'm go blue all day. If it's basketball, if it's football, if it's softball, if it's gymnastics, if it's wrestling, I'm all in. So obviously the sixth ranked preseason ranked Michigan Wolverines, the Big Ten hasn't had a national champion in quite a while. So I think Michigan State was the last one. And I think that's been at least 10. So if we could, see if there's a team that's capable out of the Big Ten that is national championship worthy, you top of that that list has to be the Michigan Wolverines with Juwan Howard, returning, I think I think he's returning like 8 upperclassmen, between juniors and seniors, and then you got some exciting guys coming in. It was a really good recruiting class for the Wolverines over the summer coming in. I think they were the top 5 of recruiting when it comes into that. Who wouldn't want to play for Juwan Howard? A 5'5" guy, a guy who's played in the NBA. He's got championships in the NBA. He's been played with some of the best, some of the against the best. He's got a great mind for coaching. And you step right in following John Beilein and continuing the pattern and improving on it. So he's got a good younger boys. He's got both of his boys that are going to be playing for him. So we'll see how this goes. I think they sit at the top first. And then you have, I think Purdue would probably be your next pick, coming in with a well-balanced team, a good, solid team coming back. But I think out of the Big Ten, I think the question mark team that everybody is looking forward to, trying to see if this is the missing piece to bring Indiana basketball back to where it should be. And I'm not talking about Indiana basketball as a state. I'm talking about Indiana basketball as a college, Indiana University. I know since Bob Knight has been gone, they flirted a little bit with good teams, but I've always said that program is cursed until they rectify the demons of that. And you can start to see some of that happening with some of the people that they're bringing back to try to revive this program. Mike Woodson, I think he's going to be a great fit for Indiana basketball. For one, he's from Indiana. He knows meaning that he's from Indiana area. I think he's from here in Indianapolis. I don't want to quote you wrong. I think he's born Central, but I could be wrong on that one. But we know he's from the city. So he's going to be able to recruit young men from this area. And that's what you need to do, for a college like that. You need to recruit locally. I know Purdue's been able to withstand, but they haven't been able to get those upper 4 stars and those 5-star athletes to stay there. Notre Dame had them a little bit, but not so much. So you're still looking for IU to come back with that power in basketball. So we'll see if Mike Woodson can do that. I did see that Bob Knight was at practice last week. So not a big deal made of it, but, I kind of, tinker around a little bit in some of the backyard news. But he was at practice last week. So who knows? There might be some steps for getting some things happening there in IU. Would like to see it be Coach Knight's court, but, we do what we do. And Steeler glass to you. Cheers on a Sunday. So what else do we got here as I fingerprint through my Google Pixel 6, which I was extremely happy. If you follow me on Twitter, I was all about my Pixel 6. It is the most amazing phone, the most amazing camera. I recorded the Carmel girls basketball game on Saturday, and it is crystal clear. I can't wait to make these highlight films for the girl, get them ready for these recruiting coaches. It's going to be a good year. But anyway, so we moving on. Let's see, anything else in college that we were really, really, really looking forward to? Let's see, we got Coach Cud, Hubert Davis, Juwan Howard. Okay, yep, that's all that we got for college. So obviously that's going to pick up coming into next weekend when we do next weekend's episode. So it's going to be 35. This is episode 34. So when college have been, we've got a full week in of some fabulous games. So we'll be able to really give you some insight on the college game next week. But right now the NBA is real popping. Let's see. Why don't we, before we jump into the NBA, let's go ahead and give you guys some visual on what we've been talking about over there at Elite Performance and our good man, Zach, making it happen, Captain. Maybe if I can find the right commercial. There we go. Boom. righty, welcome back. This is your man's one. This is the state of basketball. As you can see, our good friend Zach over at Elite Performance is knocking it out the park, getting everybody into great shape. If y'all guys have seen how skinny old Dan is looking, y'all be absolutely knocking down his door to get at him. Just to let you guys know, we are sitting in the back half of From the NBA Elbow, brought to you by Rogue Energy drink mix. When you order, make sure you use the BWSPORTS1 promo code to get 10% off your next purchase. Man, I had some of that stuff that's pretty good. I'm telling you, the milkshake one was better than I anticipated. So I probably need to get on there and get me some more order myself, since I am doing nothing with my physicals, because I got a dad bod and I don't care. I've accepted it. I'm damn near 50. I've dunked on plenty of people. I am good. So we'll take that away from there. All right. So we are going to move on and get into some NBA right now. Let's turn around and see what we're looking at. I think it went to the Caesars commercial, but I think Kansas City is up 7. I think Green Bay just missed a field goal. So, Aaron Rodgers, boy, that's my guy. I'm just going to laugh so hard because that dude is funny, but he's funny. All right. So NBA, hey, this is funny. Make sure you guys check out, this part isn't funny. Make sure you guys check out DeLion over at the Combat Zone. I know they had some bare knuckle fights last night. UFC 68 was absolutely fantastic last night. You got Thug Rose retaining her bout, going 5 rounds with the Chinese monster, Zhang Xiaowu. I completely butchered that woman's name, so it doesn't matter. But you know what I was talking about. You had Usman defend his belt against Covington. So there was great fights on. So it was awesome. You had Canelo Alvarez unifying. I think he's got 6 belts now. I mean, ridiculous. So check out DeLion over there and get into those things, see what he's got, his breakdown of that is. And the reason why I say that and lead you into that is because ex-NBA player Darren Williams, you remember Darren Williams, the dude with had to play for Utah and had the real dyed jet black hair, you know what I'm saying, from Chicago, went to Illinois. I think it was the first good team from Illinois since Kendall DeGill. Now I think it was Darren Williams. They had another little guard, I think last name was Ford. Maybe, but those guys can hoop. They tore up the Big Ten. But Darren Williams has money. He's obviously been training in mixed martial arts since he's been out of the league, and he's got money into a mixed martial arts gym, one of the more popular ones. So he's really into the sport. So he is actually going to be fighting on the Paul Fury underfight. One of the Paul brothers will be fighting Tyson Fury's brother. I think his name is Tommy. So you'll have that card, and I think Darren Williams is going to be fighting on that undercard. We do not know yet who his opponent is going to be, but we do know that he is going to fight. Hopefully it's not Nate Robinson, but, we'll live. I didn't think there was any beef. I think his name started with an S, Shakir Ford or Shamir Ford. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It'll pop to me at some point in time, like when we're off the show. But so we jump into the NBA on after that thought. So you said we got some more owners in trouble in the NBA for being, basically dicks, so to speak. You got the guy from Phoenix who had an article about he had 70 employees interview, and I think one of them had something positive to say, and who knows what that was. It was probably your version of Monica Lewinsky in your office, but you got issues going on with there, and I just heard that there was another one just pop up on the back end. I think it's Portland. I think that's the next one that's going out. Man, they coming after this old Southern, well, I don't want to say Southern, this old plantation-minded and old money. They're coming after it, and they're trying to shut all this stuff down. You just can't talk and treat people the way that some of these owners do. So I mean, it's trying to get rid of that good old boy mentality. And you know, I mean, when it comes to minorities, when it comes to women, they're going after you. You know, what I mean, so I mean, put it on warning. You know, what I mean, for all this old money who don't want to accept change and embrace the future of our country and our planet, you got to get on board. So that's that. Let's see who is up next. We talk about Darren Williams. Hey, we probably got to address this issue going on in Boston. I'd like to hear what Big Storm has to say about these people in Boston. You know what I'm saying? I think Jason Tatum is averaging damn near under 15 points a game, and he is a stud. Jaylen Brown has increased some of his offensive production, but it has not equated into wins, so to speak. I know they did pull off a good one the other night, but for the start of the season, for the talent, I mean, I knew they was going to be struggling on the inside with the bigs and things, but I figured, the smart defense, the Tatum offense and defense, Jaylen Brown offense and defense, they'd be able to compete in some games. I mean, you got players. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. How do you feel about players calling out other players in the media? You know, I mean, if you're the leader of the team and no matter what happens when you hit the floor and you back up all your shit, you might be, one of few people who can call other players out in the media or on public. But me, I've always been a person, you handle your stuff internal. If you got a beef or issue with how things are being run or ran as a team, stand for it, go to your team, go to your coach, handle that shit inside. Because once you hit the media, man, and the people get a hold of it, it's just never good. It just never ends bad because a lot of stuff gets clipped in and clipped out, and you don't get to really understand, regardless if you're saying things right. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown need to understand how to use their team a little more. You know what I mean? The more you use the team, the easier shots you get. You know what I mean? The more you give confidence into your team and let them do some things, you know what I'm saying? It'll be easier for you to get your work in because they can't come off them so much. But on the flip side, those guys on the side, you got to be ready. You know what I mean? Marcus Smart, you can't talk about them not passing the ball, but when you're getting the ball in the corner and you got wide open shots, you don't make shots. You know what I'm saying? But then again, they got you got to go to coaching on that because they got you doing something that you weren't doing. I mean, you weren't ever a shooter. You wasn't that guy who like, hey, man, we need to get out here and guard him. Like if you gave Marcus Smart 10 open threes, I guarantee you he's missing 7. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. But so maybe that's good defense, forcing him to do something he don't want to do. I know he complained about, but he's a playmaker. You know what I mean? The guy's a playmaker. He if he's not being able to make plays, he's kind of almost useless. You know what I'm saying? He's a bulldog. He's a pit bull. He gets into people. He can get in the lane. He can make shots in the lane, and he can create. But if he's not being able to do that because you got 2 guys that's following the James Harden Houston Rockets philosophy and dribble, step back, slide, step, go to the rack, and pray that they get a foul. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have issues. So I think that's something that, that can be corrected because it wasn't like they was really going after each other. When you're losing games, you want to win. When you're losing games, you get frustrated and then, you break character a little bit. So I think they'll get that shit under order. I think they're going to have to, play around with the trade market to get some bigs in there to help out because you can't keep playing Jason Tatum at the 4. That's just not a good thing. And then you got to look at it. Jason Tatum's probably tired. You know what I mean? Boston did make the play. Yeah, Boston did make the playoffs. He did play in the Olympics. And now he's back in the season. He's probably tired. But I say he'll probably pick his thing up. Just let him get a couple more weeks in, and I think it'll be good. How long can the Hornets sustain being the highest scoring team in the league? Very exciting. A little Ball and a little boy from Michigan State. Miles Bridges. I think they're playing great basketball. Ball. I mean, you can say whatever you say about the daddy. He did get 2 out of 3 sons in the league. 2 out of 3 sons in the top 5 of the draft. You know what I mean? So we can't really knock him there. You know what I mean? If he's an exploitation, that's a different story. But at this point, who does it? You know what I'm saying? You might not intentionally do it. You might not, be aware that you're doing it, but we all do it. You know what I mean? We put them out there like that. We put them out there so these colleges can look at them to give them full ride scholarship. But we are, you know what I mean? It's not, so much, pimpantry, but it pretty much is. It's kind of, you go back in the olden days when they, will barter off off their kids, or you can go, when the parents now, the mama say, go get you a good, you know what I'm saying? Never mind. That's a whole other conversation. Let me stop that. So how long can the Hornets sustain scoring at this level? I think it's earlier in the season. They're playing really good basketball, but I didn't, feel they would be, in that top part of the East. I think they were probably going to be somewhere in that playoff run. If they were going to make that top six, it would be six, but they were going to be in that end plan, or the playoff, whatever the hell they do at the end of the year, the new thing they do. So the play-in tournament, that's it. Bow, got it. So we'll deal with that. Lost my train of thought. Let me pull back my notes. It happens, man. HDADDCB is real. And then in the league that they play in. So I think they can put up points. I think they'll continue to put up points. They're an up and down team. But as the season goes along, teams will start to get their legs in, get their playoff runs in, and they'll start to lean on them. We'll see how much they can be able to adjust when the other teams start to adjust to them getting up and down the floor. So, and then again, they haven't really played a terribly difficult schedule either. So, can they keep it up? We'll see. Playing teams like Miami a lot, highly efficient defensive teams that are in the East. We'll see. I don't think so, but they are exciting to watch. A lot of lobs and things of that nature. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Hardy. I guess we can talk about the new rule change a little bit. I just say poor guy. You know what I mean? He's having such a hard time, getting this figured out. I know they keep talking about, people don't, he did come off an injury, with a hamstring, and he didn't get to rehab. Man, come on, man. That's not what I'm hearing. That's not what I see on the floor. I see a guy on the floor that is having issues adjusting to something that made him get half of his points. You know what I mean? I just say, there was 3 names that they wanted to point out when they addressed this rule: James Harden, Stephen Curry, and little baby hair boy out of Atlanta, Trae Young. They wanted to address those. But from what I've seen these first 3 weeks, the only person complaining about these particular calls, now the refs have been calling some it's been some real physical play. It almost kind of reminds you a little bit of the late 80s going into the 90s on a couple of these games. It's been a little physical play. Doesn't bother me none. But this particular play of contorting your body after a person has left the air to draw a foul, you know what I mean? Unshot related motion, basically. So the only person that we've been hearing complaining about this is Harding and his camp. We haven't heard anything from Steph. They're 8-1. We haven't heard anything from Steph. We actually heard things from his team, Draymond Green, saying, "Oh, it is great to see these non-bullshit calls not being called. It's great." And even with one of his guys being named in that, Trae Young, he just gets beats up a lot, and then he takes a lot of bad shots. So he's not getting rewarded as he used to, but he's not complaining about it. He's trying to make the adjustments. Steph Curry has made the adjustments. We just need to see James Harden make the adjustments. Stop having the media cry to it about, skill work, somebody works hard. No, you felt like Big Morm said, you found a way to manipulate a rule, and now the rule has been changed to correct your manipulation of it. Everybody else has figured it out. Why can't you figure it out? Kind of along the same lines in the NFL when they changed how you hit people. You know what I'm saying? Some took a minute to figure it out. But once that thing start touching that money, then they start to figure it out. And I'm so glad that the Philadelphia 76ers have restarted finding Ben Simmons. He found a loophole to continue to get paid and still bully his way out of a contract that he signed to play, to do a job. So they're fed up. They acknowledged all of your mental woes that you talked about. Here's what we need to do to get it fixed. They gave you all the tools. You denied all the tools. You said you was working with an independent doctor, but you don't give the information. You don't do anything. You're intentionally sabotaging this team. And way to go, Joel Embiid, for keeping your team ready to play. You got all these guys contributing. It's not completely solely on you and Tobias Harris. You got Danny Green hitting threes in the corner. You got Seth Lil Curry. You got him out here, getting up 15 points a game. You got the little dude, Maxey, who just lightened it up in the playoffs last year. You got him getting around 15 points a game. You got guys contributing. So really, this standoff for Ben Simmons is only hurting him. Because as long as Philly continues to win, I think they're on top of the East right now, if I'm not mistaken. But as long as Philly continues to win, this continues to make Ben Simmons look further and further like a bad teammate. Well, we already knew that, by the way. So I like the approach that Joel Embiid is taking with this team, and they have followed his lead. They're not putting up with that. So back to the Harden thing, I think he'll figure it out. I think he'll get the adjustment, and he'll make the plays that he needs to make. But I don't look for that team to lean on him to be the leader anyway. I'm going after the guy who's the best player on the planet, Kevin Durant. It just is what it is. I do love to watch Giannis compete, but the best player on the planet is Kevin Durant. And 3.5 inches more, we just saw him in the finals. Just saying. But yeah, as I look through the notes, I think that's pretty much all that I got. So, yeah, I think it's time to get back to football. Yeah, it's time to get back to football. But there is some basketball on today. I think I posted my picks earlier for today's wins. I know Pacers play here at 6 o'clock. Not going to really conflict a whole lot of football because Steelers play tomorrow night. We scrub up the Bears. It's not talking like we're a great team, but it's the Bears, and their coach is Matt Nagy. So if you check this out on Wednesday nights for Dukes of football, you've heard like us and everybody else talk about the despicableness of Matt Nagy. So I think we're doing it a pretty good job. And then the coach played on Thursday night. So there you have it. It's wide open for basketball for me. So you know what? I think I might just go ahead and plug in the league pass and let it go. Just loop it up because I got to get ready for Little League basketball. The boy plays next week. So that is it for the State of Basketball episode 34. If you're looking to do any lovely work with us, voiceovers, videos, anything, holler at us. info.bwsports1@gmail.com. Or you could check out the website and see what the happenings is with everything we got going on. BWSPORTS1@.com. That is not correct. It's BWSPORTS1.com. There you go. He's retarded. So, I can't use that. See, I'm old. I keep using stuff that I can't say no more. You can't say that. But I need at least 100,000 people to follow before I could even get in trouble for that. So I'm still a big fish in a small pond that's just a puddle on the road. It makes zero sense. Sorry, but that's what it is. Check us out, BWSports1.com, info@BWSports1@gmail.com. Just holler at us. You can DM us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I just downloaded it, so I don't feel like I'm like that all in on it. I'm still lost. I'm still hitting the wrong button. But It is what it is. But I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you check all our shows out. You got Super Kicking It with Steven. Him and Greg were on today. Make sure you check out the Lion and myself for Dukes of Football. Big Storm and myself for here at State of Basketball. Check out Monica building up your brain power on Tuesday afternoons. And the Scary Clown Checkers, Tommy Records. Happy birthday, bro. He's up on Sunday. So check out, hit us up. We got you. Enough babbling. I'm leaving. I gotta go. My toenails need clipping.